Jasmine Crockett. She has a message for Donald Trump after CBS Colbert commentary was deleted. Let's take a listen at this particular video from MS Now. But before I play this video, just to remind you, if you're not subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing, like this video, share this video. Take a listen.
Trump is worried about Democrats flipping Texas. Recent polling from the University of Houston shows both James Talarico and Jasmine Crockett within the margin of error against the two most likely Republican opponents in that race. And Trump is so freaked out by the situation in Texas that he is uncharacteristically pretty silent-ish about it, refusing to endorse a Republican candidate in the primary campaign, choosing instead to keep his powder dry and leave his options open.
I just haven't made a decision on that race yet. It's got a ways to go, and I haven't. He's a good man. John is a good. I like all three of them, actually. I like all three. Those are the toughest races.
He likes them all. How hard to choose. Why would he endorse a candidate now when early voting in Texas has already begun?
I do not know. I think all of them are tremendous. They're fantastic. So I did not endorse anybody. Yeah, we know you're lying.
Trump is kind of scared, it seems. He is scared of the Democratic candidates in Texas. Scared enough that he doesn't want to insert himself in the race and back a single candidate who might go on to lose the general election. And Trump has every reason to be scared of either Democrat in that race. I mean, James Talarico has exhibited an ease in weaving faith and morality into his message that's really broken through, attempting to appeal to a coalition much broader than Democrats in a state where you typically need Republicans and independents to win. And as I mentioned before and at the top of the show, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett has been holding this administration's feet to the fire at every single chance she gets. She's held them accountable on their treatment of children who are imprisoned inside a Texas detention center. She's held them accountable on their botched release of the Epstein files, including in a hearing with Pam Bondi just last week.
You're spending more taxpayer resources arresting journalists than you are prosecuting pedophiles and creeps. I completely don't get how it is that you're sitting at the top of DOJ because you don't seem to be good at your job.
There we go. Certainly not holding back. Jasmine Crockett has even introduced a bill to rein in Trump's FCC and stop it from censoring critics to push a political agenda. All of which makes it incredibly ironic that CBS is citing Congresswoman Crockett as part of their decision to bend to Trump's agenda and censor her opponent. And I'm very eager to hear what she has to say about all of it. Joining me now is Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett of Texas. She is, of course, a candidate for U.S. Senate. There are so many things to talk to you about, and I'm so grateful you're here. Let me just start with some of the news from today, which
I think it is a very actually easy job for even a child to hold Pam Bondi accountable, to see how she is lying every single time she moves her tongue. But of course, among all of the senators, Jasmine Crockett, she's one of those prominent leaders from her district where she is nailing it every single time.
Outlined. I mean, in CBS's statement on what happened with Colbert's show last night, they name-checked you. I mean, they said this: the show has provided legal guidance that the broadcast could trigger the FCC equal time rule for two other candidates, including Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. What do you make of that explanation?
We actually received a phone call, and that was a little bit earlier today. And in that call, they explained that they actually told CBS that they could go ahead and move forward with the interview of James Talarico. They just needed to offer me equal time. I did not get a request from the Colbert show to go on. As you know, I've been on Colbert multiple times. And frankly, if we would have gotten an offer, that would have been great. But we're in the middle of early voting, so I'm kind of focused on being in Texas at this moment. I don't know what to believe, that's for sure. But I got that phone call as I was out talking to voters.
That's it. So there's so many things to talk to you about again, but they called you today, but they decided not to air the interview last night. You've been on Colbert a number of times, as you just said. Did you have any issue when they were going to air the interview last night, when they promoted it, or when it was supposed to air, or did anyone from your campaign?
No, we didn't have an issue. I mean, we've never run into an issue with Colbert. And even as you talked about The View, supposedly this FCC complaint came about because I had more time than Mr. Talarico when I went on there after I declared my candidacy. Listen, I will tell you that I have no love for Barry Weiss. I have no love for Brendan Carr whatsoever. But I do think that, as you also mentioned, Kimmel, it is important that we resist in this moment. And so there were a number of options that could be put on the table. And frankly, the Late Show decided that this was the option. And I think that it was a good strategy. I mean, look at what happened when they tried to censor CCOT. We found out that you could get a lot more views. So I think it probably gave my opponent the boost he was looking for. So I think it's probably better that he didn't get on and that they went straight to streaming, because we know that when we resist and when we know that it seems like they're trying to change the rules and bend to the knee of or bend the knee to this president, that it backfires in a historic fashion.
I mean, the last thing we want to see is Barry Weiss being at the head of CBS, because she is such an unqualified person she does not deserve to be there. She's not entitled. She's just being there for licking the boot of the Zionists for the Israelis, and making everything really horrible, whatever she is working on, including CBS.
Spectacularly over and over again. And you have been no stranger to them going after you as well, I know. Let me ask you about something, and I mentioned this a little bit in the opening. Trump was asked about the Republican candidates in the Texas race on Air Force One last night, and he kind of said, I like them all, and refused to really endorse any of them. What did you make of that? Why do you think that is?
I love it. There's a couple of things about this, right? A lot of people are like, there's no way Texas can do this. And I'm here to tell you that even on day one of early voting, we are exploding with participation right now. And we just had 2 special elections, one that swung 30 points, another one that swung 17 points. We are really ready to do this in Texas. And frankly, right now, I will tell you what the insiders tell me. They tell me that he really doesn't like John Cornyn, so he just doesn't want to endorse him. We know that the Republicans have already spent $50 million trying to boost Senator Cornyn in this primary, yet he is still trailing Ken Paxton, who only raised $1 million last quarter. We also know that supposedly his chief of staff does not like Ken Paxton. So there's that. And then Wesley Hunt doesn't really have a shot. So he doesn't really know what to do. There are people that are pulling at him in different ways, trying to tell him what's most strategic to do. But there was a poll that actually dropped today that had me ahead of all 3 of them. So whichever way they decide to go, we're ready to win this thing.
I'm sure Donald Trump loves.
That will be such a blow for the Republicans. Can you imagine Texas getting to the Democrats, Texas getting to Jasmine Crockett? That will be really a death sentence for them, because they're also already struggling with their poll numbers and with their popularity.
Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, who may be the Democratic nominee, calling out his fearful strategy right now. You are most known. You are known to so many people watching right now, and so many people out there for a range of viral moments. I played kind of one of them from last week, but you've had so many of them. Humorous jabs at Republicans on the Hill, but you're of course much more than that, as everybody is, but as everybody who's in elected office is. Often people are caricatured.
Guys, this is unbelievable stuff happening. Subscribe for more videos. See you in the next one.